which you'll see around this town in Berlin, Maryland here. And across in these areas is also another few shops with like unique beach clothing and vintage wear. And also across here, where this location is, where there's like kind of like, it looks like it's getting renovated. That used to be a really good antique shop with all old-fashioned antiques, but they are starting to renovate it, and they moved it into this corner where that flag for Maryland is. But that used to be a very famous antique shop. Ahead here, which is Rains Reef, is a very good place to get breakfast, and they usually actually make their own malt milkshakes. This has actually been around. It's kind of a local breakfast shop, restaurant, cafe, you could say. And here, while we're walking ahead, is the awesome, famous Atlantic Hotel, which is actually where I'm staying at. This has been here since 1895. A lot of travelers stayed here, and a lot of kind of explorers where they usually brought their goods or even like came back from on ships. There were 2 movies filmed in this town. One you might remember, which is with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, which is a pretty funny, humorous movie. But it was called Runaway Bride. And in that one corner room of the hotel, right up by this window, is the room that Richard Gere stayed in during that movie. Kind of when he was calling out to Julia Roberts. And then the town here, this whole town that we were walking in earlier, that's where Julia Roberts was filmed in the movie. There's also another movie here in the early 2000s called Tusk Valley, where they actually recreated the town and actually made part of the town into dirt road and made the Atlantic like an old Western hotel. It was an old Western movie, but it was filmed in the early 2000s. But that's kind of a little bit of the unique history of the town, and you can even see pictures of like the people that have lived here for years while staying at the Atlantic. Also ahead in the side of the Atlantic, where you see where it says Mermaid Museum, is one of the only mermaid and siren museums in the actual U.S. is here in Berlin, Maryland, and it has history on all about people that are into like folklore or mythology about the ocean, which talks about mermaids and sirens. They have a little gift shop, and you can kind of like dress like a sea creature if you want. There's a little mermaid tub you can get in, and then walking down further if you want. In front of the Mermaid Museum is the one metaphysical store called Dreamweaver for people who like a holistic healing, such as dream catchers, incense, different crystals, things about the chakra, Native American, and all old ancient ways of like kind of cool knickknacks, which is the shop Dreamweaver, which is in front of the Mermaid Museum. And then in this corner here, going down the other end, is one of the actual bookshops and tea shops in town, where you can actually read a book or have a good hot cup of tea. And while we walk across the street here,
There's the Welcome to Berlin
yep,
sign.
the Welcome to Berlin here is one of the kind of areas where you actually see the sign. This actually used to be in this corner by the Welcome to Berlin, where this shop here is called the General Store. That used to be the PNC Bank here in town. So you actually used to have a bank right here in this location where the General Store is.
I'm gonna stop.